Kingdom Hearts at a glance has a very complex storyline. You need a smorgasbord of consoles and handhelds and cell phones to get the whole story. Well, at least until they made the good move to consolidate most everything into one game. So it's very common to get confused by the story when you didn't play the game, but it is also often common to get confused when you did play the games. At a glance, a storyline is harder to figure out than it is on how to make friends as an adult. But after you absorb it and focus on the high-level plot, it's more like, oh, you know what, it's not that bad. So this video is to understand what happens after Kingdom Hearts 2, focusing primarily on Dream Drop Distance as this game follows Kingdom Hearts 2 in the timeline. So let's focus with our main cast. We have Sora and Riku. Sora is the bubbly, friendly, naive, optimistic boy who has saved the day countless times with the power of friendship. And we have Riku, a more serious and cautious man who has been humbled and developed a bit of an inferiority complex. His past mistakes haunt him in the form of having darkness as a power. And we also have the Dream Eaters, who have a slightly important role. They are your companions in the game and work with your player character to help fight the nightmares and protect you. Now, to make it easier to follow the plot, I'm actually going to start at the end of the game and explain backwards as I need to. But first, I need to explain the premise of the game. So the game starts with the big bad Xehanort being back from the dead after the death of Ansem and Xemnas. To test if Sora and Riku are ready to be Keyblade Masters, they need to take the Mark of Mastery. So the test is for them to go to the Dream Worlds and seal the keyholes there to wake them up. Was this a simple and easily explained premise? Because they don't give you this explanation until you were like an hour into the game? Alright, now let's buckle up for Nomura's wild ride, because this game is just rife with stupid twists that are honestly great. So while doing your Kingdom Hearts thing, you know, visiting a Disney World, acting out the Wikipedia summary of the movie, and clearing a world of Dream Eaters, and sealing holes, you get to the last world, which the character thinks, this should be the end of the test, but then you get ambushed by Braig. Now Braig is a character who was in the Organization 13, known there as Xigbar. He shows up in Birth by Sleep as someone who was working with Xehanort behind the scenes and took care of him while he lost his memory. Now, Braig shows up here and explains to Sora, one of the biggest twists in the game, that Sora wasn't on the Mark of Mastery exam. He was following deeper and deeper into a trap set up by Xehanort's master Keikaku. And that is when young Xehanort appears again. Now, when I say young Xehanort, I don't just mean Xehanort. There is what we call Master Xehanort, which is the old guy who's the antagonist of Birth by Sleep, and we have Ansem, who is the Heartless of Xehanort. So likewise, we have young Xehanort, who was Xehanort when he was whatever age Sora and Riku are? Now let's take a little aside here as we talk about time travel in this game, because we need to. Because it's so convoluted, and it has its stupid rules revealed later in the game, so before we can go forward with the plot, we need to go even more forwarder in the plot, where they explain the goddamn rules. Alright, first rule. Only people who have become disembodied hearts at some point are allowed to time travel. Second rule is you must have a body at the target time you are traveling to. And the third rule, you will forget everything that happens, and you can't change anything that has already happened. Alright, so now get this. Ansem, before he possessed Riku, therefore before he obtained a body, time traveled back to young Xehanort to give him the power to time travel and set in motion the plan to jack them off the Mark of Mastery exam. He constantly interrupts Sora and Riku along the game with other versions of Xehanort in order to unnerve and create doubt in their minds. For Riku, though, he shrugs it off because he's a trad, while it continues to wear down the virgin Sora. Because for the first time in his career, he actually gets challenged as a person. No, really, think about it. Sora has always been like, friend's my papa. So another note. They don't really mention this until the end, kind of like offhandedly, but the Mark of Mastery happens in the past. Like right before Destiny Isle falls to darkness in Kingdom Hearts 1, that is when Sora and Riku start the Mark of Mastery, as they use the world falling into sleep as their way of entering the dream world, and then after that they are slingshotted to the present while in the realm of sleep, so they could remember their experience. Sora finds himself back into the world that never was, and finds and talks to Xion. So let's quickly explain Naminé and Xion. Naminé in Chain of Memories is used by Organization 13 as a way to control Sora by deleting his memories. Naminé has this power because she's Kairi's nobody, and Sora has a strong heart connection to Kairi. In this game, she's deleting Sora's memories as he progresses through the game. After the events of the game, she is freed from Organization 13 and begins to put Sora's memories back together, which finishes with the start of Kingdom Hearts 2. Now in the game 358 over 2 days, which part of it happens at the same time as Chain of Memories, some of the memories she ripped out of Sora were used by Organization 13 to become Xion, who became number 14 in Organization. She spent her time bonding with Roxas and Axel when Riku found her and told her of her connection to Sora. However, before she can willingly reunite with Sora, she gets kidnapped and brought to Xemnas, who brainwashes her. She forces Roxas to fight her as she is destroying Roxas by existing, and as she dies, she gets absorbed into Roxas, which makes everyone forget about her existence as she was made of memories and those memories died? As Roxas got absorbed back into Sora, it makes sense that Xion exists in Sora now as well through transitive property. Like a math problem. So Sora sheds a tear and goes on to encounter Roxas. They share a conversation where Roxas reveals himself to be a bit bitter that it had to be him that was real, but acknowledges that Sora's heart is connected to a lot of people. Sora then tells him that he is his own person and deserves just as much as anyone else to be his own person. This actually makes Roxas start to like him, and he shares with Sora all of his experiences and memories through mind rape. Sora then follows the illusions of Kairi and Riku, and they change to Aqua and Terra respectively, with the memories of Ventus inside of Sora speaking for him. So now we gotta explain the story of Terra, Ventus, and Aqua. So in the game Birth by Sleep, these were the main characters who met tragic ends, and they have body armor that protects them from the darkness, kind of like how the Organization cloaks protect the wearer from darkness. Ventus, who was used by Master Xehanort to separate his darkness, who was known as Vanitas, so that he could merge Vanitas and Ventus, creating a Keyblade? The reason Vanitas looks like Sora is because Ventus' heart, which got damaged by Xehanort, was restored by Sora, and the Keyblade they made was a knockoff and ultimately failed, causing Ventus' heart to now reside in Sora to heal. Terra was seduced by the dark side and was Palpatine by Master Xehanort himself. Xehanort manipulated him into falling into darkness, allowing himself to be body-jacked. Terra was also the person to pass on the Keyblade to Riku. And this leaves Aqua, who was Muscro, failing to protect her friends. She put Ventus' body in a secret room in Castle Oblivion, which was why Organization 13 was in Castle Oblivion during the Chain of Memories. They were looking for Ventus' body, and even though she defeats Terra Xehanort, she had to sacrifice herself to save Terra's body and is trapped in the realm of darkness. Sora remembers how she and Riku met Aqua once. Throughout all of this, Sora can hear Riku's muffled yells about waking up. This is because Riku finds Sora in a dark slumber and tries to wake him up. Now we got some Inception garbage going on because Ansem then appears to tell him that Sora is the property of darkness and that Riku himself is lost because they are in a dream within Sora's dream, making Riku his dream eater. God damn it. Stupid plot. This doesn't affect the child Riku though, as he now finds his new meaning. Not to hinder the darkness, not to hide the darkness, not to master the darkness, but to turn it to light. Meanwhile, so Xigbar and Xemnas then reveal to Sora that nobodies can have hearts, because it's the natural state of a body to have a heart, and they will develop one if it's empty. So the plot of Kingdom Hearts 2, by the way, is that the organization was going to use Kingdom Hearts to give them hearts again. Well, turns out that Xemnas was lying. The true original purpose of Organization 13 was to use Kingdom Hearts to fill the 13 vessels with Xehanort. Now you might be thinking, how could Xigbar be okay with turning into Xehanort? But you see, he's already half Xehanort. Son of a... I love it. I love it. Sora rebuffs them and acknowledges that even though he isn't the chosen one, his friends, they are his power. Well, that power runs out and he gets captured by young Xehanort, who then tells him he's about to get Norted. Now, before Sora is about to get penetrated by the darkness, Ventus lends him his armor condom because don't be a fool, get wrapped by a tool. So Riku, now back in the real world, he finds Sora, but he gets stopped by young Xehanort, who explains the master plan again. So the plan is, Xehanort was gonna make 13 darknesses and fight against the 7 guardians of light in order to recreate the Keyblade, in order to control Kingdom Hearts. Mickey shows up to help rescue both Sora and Riku and he stops time. But the doofus? That doesn't work against a time traveler. So Master Xehanort returns and Mickey and Riku get BTFO and all is lost as Sora's about to get Norted when a fan favorite appears and saves the day again. I hope you've got him memorized. Now, Axel is a character introduced in Chain of Memories and has had a prominent role in almost every game since. He is a nobody that is introduced as a very remorseless character, though in 358/2 he develops into a guardian figure as he spends his time babysitting Roxas and Xion. In this game, he gets his body back and his name is Lee now. When Minnie Mouse gets into a hostage situation by Pete and Maleficent, it's Lee who saves her. Pete and Maleficent, who spend time in the data world, their new motivation, by the way, is to get a new copy of the Book of Prophecies, which is a whole nother stupid part of Kingdom Hearts I don't want to talk about. So Axel, along with Donald and Goofy, run out the clock and the Xehanort clones can return to where they came, but they signal the start of another Keyblade war. Sora, however, is still in a darkness coma, so Riku deep dives one more time into Sora's dream and defeats the darkness covering his condom. Through talks with the hearts inside Sora and a data version of Ansem the Wise, they figure out what Sora's true power is, even though he is just a delivery boy. Sora is now free. To wrap things up, the game ends with the results of the Mark of Mastery, and one of the best performances Haley Joel Osment has ever put on.
One of you braved the realm of sleep again to unlock the final keyhole and save a friend. Riku, I name you our new true Keyblade Master.
Way to go, Riku!
Yeah?
I knew you were gonna pass with flying colors. This is just so awesome.
Gee, Sora, you're kinda acting like it's you
You
that...
can actually feel the disappointment yet happiness the character of Sora would actually feel. Axel can now use a Keyblade, Kairi can now use a Keyblade, and Sora was able to get in touch with his Pokemon, and the stage is now set for Kingdom Hearts 3. So what is the main takeaway from this game? Xehanort is trying to recreate the Keyblade by clashing his 13 darknesses with the 7 Guardians of Light. Yensid has recruited Lee and Kairi as Keyblade users, and they are trying to assemble a team of 7, hopefully by recovering the Birth by Sleep trio as well. Riku has now developed into a humble and responsible adult who has a clear drive and purpose in defeating his past darknesses and is looking toward the light. And Sora, who started as a standard shonen protagonist, has now had his true power revealed to us. And it is that Sora is able to recreate those who are lost, which foreshadows how Sora is gonna save everyone lost to the darkness or those lost to memory. I really hope this helps some people be better prepared for Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm sure I didn't cover everything with the detail I could have, but I'm sure the new game won't expect you to have a master of masters level of knowledge of the lore and plot. It's been over a decade since Kingdom Hearts 2, and there is no other series like this, nor will there ever be one like this again. So I hope everyone enjoys the wild ride we've been on, and thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it.